Good morning, guys. Hello, welcome. Today I'm starting a new series where I can discuss the daily newspaper, especially the Hindu newspaper, where I can highlight the important facts as well as data for the mains point of view as well as the prelims point of view. So my purpose is that I give you a quick idea get how you read the newspaper and how to collect data from the newspapers. Okay, so without any delay, let's just start. And before starting, I would like to mention about myself. I am also an aspirant. Okay, so these facts and data is also helpful for me as well. So, and one thing I need to mention that please make sure you make a notes out of it, so that in whenever you give mains examination or prelims examinations, for quick revisions those notes will help you. Okay, so now let's begin. Okay, so here is the Supreme Court grants Kejriwal interim bail, excess policy case, not that important for the prelims as well as the mains point of view. Okay, uh, now the it's not important. This is Eklavya schools. Eklavya school for prelims point of view important. Okay, why? Because in prelims they already ask you the Eklavya schools model. Okay, who funded? Okay, who funded this school model, and what is the role of it? Okay, so you can Google it for Eklavya schools. Okay, so now let's move on to the next things. Now let's move on to the next thing. Okay, okay, this is not important. This is not important. This is not important. Okay, this is not important. This might be important as June 25 as a Samvidhan Hatya Divas. Okay, I don't think UPSC will ask directly these kind of questions, but still you can write, you can make a note out of it. Okay, so let's move on next. Okay, so now let's move on next. Okay, 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 okay. Okay, now here is the green part. The green part actually where I highlighted the green marker, it's for mains. Okay, it's for mains, and yellow is for prelims oriented facts. Okay, now here is the news article that West Bengal moves AC against governor for sitting on the bills. This particular incident is helpful for a mains answer writing, where UPSC generally asks question about the how governor can hinder process of governance. Okay, so if any such questions comes in the your UPSC mains examination, you could quote this example, where you could have, if you quote this example, you would definitely fetch good marks. Okay, so just write it down these facts. Okay, now let's move on to the next slide, next section, next news article. uh, it's just an opinion. Okay, there is no such data here. It's an opinion. Okay, now here's another important PDS impact on household expenditure. Here is the data, and this data could be help for prelims as well as the mains. Okay, so here is what the data says, that 75% rural population and 50% urban populations are eligible for subsidies. Okay, for food grains under the NFSA Act. Okay, so you need to remember these facts and these facts. Okay, that is 75% for rural population and 50% for urban population, and this fact could be applicable for mains answer writing. Okay, or prelims fact. Okay, both could be used. Okay, so there is nothing more important in this article. Okay, ground zero, it's not more important, just skip it. You will skip it. Okay, here is another very important topic. There's a fox nuts. Okay, fox nuts. So the many people who don't know about the fox nuts is like a lotus seed. Okay, just like a lotus seed, and that seed, especially that seed, are used for vegetable. Okay, nuts. Okay, for example chickpea, as we use. Okay, it's an alternative for chickpeas. Okay, so this particular fox nuts is cultivated in Bihar region. Okay, especially Bihar lead in this race. So here is also the point that Bihar produces the 90% of the country's total production, and also India contribute the 80% of the world's demand. Okay, so this is the prelims oriented facts. Another fact which I like to highlight is that mains oriented fact. Okay, now let's move on to this section. Okay, if you see this in this same article, if you see this particular thing, that this whole line it's important for your anecdote purpose. For example, good story for essay paper. Many times you come across a essay paper when you need to introduce anecdote or story. So on those occasions you could use this story or anecdote as a good starting point of your essay paper. So make sure you make note out of it, or at least read this article. Okay, so now let's move on next section. Okay, there's another main point of view important factor is that Makhana is also approved under the one district and one product. For example, in mains paper, let's suppose they ask you that, okay, what is the success of one district and one product, okay, or anything which is the related to farmer. Okay, you could mention this fact, in your way forward section, okay, or example section, okay. Okay, so these facts important, I could use these things in your paper. Okay, now let's move on to the next slide. Is that another very good important, another is it is important for your essay actually. Okay, this is a very good anecdote, and this anecdote is especially important. Why? Because here is a tribal ache, here is a tribal woman ache, and there is another is the education purpose ache. So these are the two domain where UPSC often ask questions. One tribal and the second is education. So these are very important. Okay, so you will also mention in your essay paper as an anecdote or a story. So let's move on to the next. Okay, and I not reading the whole article here because it will be not helpful for you, but if you like to read, then you could definitely read, okay, from newspapers. Okay, so let's move to the next section. There is a, again, Apple abuse position in apps market, find antitrust probe. Again, this example could be used when companies started to monopolize their market positions. Okay, so this is also very good example for mains answer copy, where you could use this example and you could fetch extra marks. Okay, so you could also you also can make note out of it. Okay, now let's move on to the next section. Okay, here is the next section is that RBI decisions to allow Indian citizens to open foreign currency accounts. Okay, so this is a very important for your exams point of view. Why? Because this particular initiative is not allowed earlier, but this time this allowed by the RBI, and what it does actually, it gives the Indian residents the flexibility to open foreign currency account in India, okay, with a amount of this. Okay, so you could use this in your prelims fact point of view, or you could also use mains paper. So it's very important. Okay, and this year UPSC also asked the question from the ETF that what is the ETF all about, so you could read from the Google. Okay, so now move on to the next section. Let's move on to the next sections. Okay, this is not such important. These are the okay. Before I concluding this article, I like to mention one thing, that is that, look, in this particular initiative, what I do actually, I will highlight the important points. I will highlight the important facts or point which could be used in your mains paper and as well as the prelims facts. I will not discuss the article in holistically, because if I discuss the article in holistically, it will be very difficult for you to remember in the long run, because I have checked many YouTube videos where people comprehensively discuss the news analysis. Okay, that's a good thing, I am not against them, but the problem is that these news analysis, what they do actually is very comprehensive, okay, and very in the long run. For example, in 6 months, after 6 months, if you follow those articles, okay, after 6 months later, you will unable to recall 10% of it. Okay, I would say that you will forget 90% of it. And if you give revisions, after 6 months, you have so many backlog or so many tasks to do that you will not continue this initiative. Okay, so that is why I'm starting this quick series where you could just skip through it or skim through it. Okay, this is the main article, this is the important point of view, so you could make note out of it. Okay, so this is my whole idea behind this initiative. I hope you like it, and if you like it, please let me know, and what else you need from me, you could also mention in the comment section so that I could make my initiative better. Okay, thank you guys.